UFOs, aliens, spaceships from another galaxy way up beyond. Is it fact? Is it fiction? Is it true? The two videos that went viral recently. Or is it CGI, doctored up by some kid sitting in mommy's basement without a job, nothing better to do? Or did the government doctor these up to put this out in front of us for their slow disclosure? Or is it the aliens themselves? That's what we're going to cover, including taking you into the future of UFOs and spacecraft. My name is Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman J.T, here to bring you love, light, truth, predictions, and prophecy. And I love you all, and thank you for subscribing down below, giving me that like, and hanging out with me as I take you on this magical journey into UFOs, aliens, disclosure, and the future, and what it holds. I am coming to you from my hometown, Sedona, Arizona, the most beautiful place in the world. And did you know that more UFO sightings have been reported right here in Sedona, Arizona than anywhere else in the world? Not only that, right behind me is the Coconino National Forest, and the edge of that forest, where more people go missing in the Coconino Forest than anywhere else in the world. Is it UFO related? Is it alien abductions? Or are people just wandering off into the forest and getting devoured by bear and coyote? That's the journey I'm about to take. Let's take a look at this article that just came out. Now, in my 2022 predictions, I did say that 2022 would be a year that probably more than triples the amount of UFO and, sky events being reported. This article put out on Cost 103.5, some type of radio station, I assume. This showed up on Facebook in the news feed. Video appears to show UFO being escorted by military helicopters. First and foremost, January 28th, 2022. That right there is faker than fake. You can tell that it's fake. I mean, good little Photoshop there. Real helicopters. But even in the video that I'm about to show you, the helicopters are going a different direction. So I believe the whole entire thing, especially being it was put on Facebook News. And when a friend called me up and told me about this, I went on Facebook News, and it was the very first article that showed up on Facebook News feed. Lately, there have been a bunch of UFO sightings across the country, says the article. But one that has captured on film last week in Connecticut is a little different from others. Yeah, because it's fake. Well, the picture's fake. We know that. And you know that the news, Facebook, Cost, and all these people made it look good with that picture at the top and put the video all the way down here at the bottom. So let's take a look at this video in regular speed mode. And you see over here on the left that glowing orb, helicopters. But you also see the light down here on the ground glowing, just like it says in the article. Completely in line with it. Is this possible? What I question is, why is it in black and white? That is my question. Why is it in black and white? So let's take a closer look at this. Let me zoom in for you. And as you see up above, it's a glowing orb in Durham, Connecticut, seen on January 21st, 2022. Let's zoom in the best I can. Zoom in a little more. It's about the most I can zoom in. And down below, you should be able to see. But here's the part over here that gets me. Watch this. That helicopter goes behind the cloud. So you know. Right? And so does the spaceship that lights up the whole cloud. You see, now I am zoomed in right where the cloud is. As best as I can zoom in, and here comes the helicopter, which goes behind the cloud. The orb, which lights up the cloud. But why does the cloud blink at the very end? I like the end of this article here where it says some commenters are blown away by writing things like, "What the F?" While others, however, aren't convinced. A couple even think that the video is fake and just some CGI. The video is probably real, but there's something not real about it, and it doesn't mean that it's a UFO because you can't see nothing but a glowing light in the sky. So, It also is strange, and this is what I agree with more in this article in the last sentence, is that more people didn't see this such a bright moving thing running across the big city or town in the sky. That's when we know things are real, folks, when there are multiple reports. This can be easily ruled out. So what would be the point of somebody like Facebook and the government faking articles like this? Going back decades, the reason for the cover-up was mainly because the government was already in the process of reverse technology to create their own spaceships. Spaceships, the triangle one, the most popular lately, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. But also the current cover-up goes back to prophecies, because both good aliens and bad aliens surround the planet. And the good ones aren't allowed to intervene until the very end, when need be, which is in the Hopi prophecies. While at the same time, the dark entities, the dark grays or the reptilians, the bad ones, the ones that don't have our highest good in their vision, those ones are putting this out there to put fear into people and to make people believe that they exist in a way that they can attack us and there could be an alien invasion, which is also written in their plan books, believe it or not. But I believe that fake alien invasion plan that they had isn't going to come into fruition anytime soon. This is going back to the time of Ronald Reagan. Listen to what he said, because they started preparing us back in the 80s with movies like E.T. and presidents saying things like this.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Is not an alien force already amongst us, says Ronald Reagan from the 1980s when he was president of the United States at that UN address that I just showed you that clip of. Ronald Reagan's already telling you as president that the aliens are amongst us. And they're worried about war with aliens? Like we're going to be able to do anything about that? Especially back in the 80s? They were preparing us for a long time, my friends. But when you look up in the skies, not all you see in the way of spaceships are actual spaceships from outer space. So what I'm referring to when it comes to things in the skies that aren't necessarily at all from outer space or alien related is the United States military's TR-3B spacecraft. It doesn't exist officially, but the TR-3B has been seen all over the world, especially over the United States, and it has the technology to be almost invisible, where you can see the stars right through it. Part of the reverse technology that the United States government even has a patent on, as you can see right here. This ship is spotted all over the United States. And it is actually, you can look it up, look up the patent that they have on this specific spaceship. There's a new documentary that just came out that's awesome that you can get on Amazon and such, and you can be found on many platforms. This documentary talks all about it. Look up the documentary on the TR-3B spaceship by the United States government. So the next time you're looking up in the sky, and you will be, because everybody's going to start seeing them, the United States government wants you to see these ships. So keep your eye up and know when you see it, wave high, because they can see you, because it's just the government putting a little fear in to other countries and to humanity, making us believe that they are alien ships when they're not. We know the most common alien ships are actually saucer-shaped. We also have to take into an account that NASA was created by German Nazis. And if you're not familiar with that and you want to debate that, save your comments for somewhere else and do your research first, little butterflies. Because NASA was created by one of Hitler's top scientists. Not only that, and I bring up this subject for two reasons, as I give you some predictions revolved around NASA, and how that's all going to come out like never before. There will be a large drop, kind of like a WikiLeaks drop, related to NASA. that is going to be somewhat viral, something to look out for. This may hit more in 2023 than in 2022. But NASA, going back to Hitler began creations on what he referred to, or they referred to, the Germans, as the Glock. Glock meaning bell, this bell-shaped object, which in Pennsylvania years back, there was a crashed object shaped exactly like a bell. That's an interesting story for another time. So last night, my buddy Mike sent me a text message as I was editing the footage for this UFO video. No coincidence, the footage he sent me, he was asking my opinion, because the footage comes from security cameras of one of his family members. So thanks, Mike, back east, for sending me this footage. And I want you all to take a very close eye at this footage. His family member was driving when he noticed these strange lights in the sky. When he got home and parked his car and he stopped to look up, he still saw the strange lights in the sky. So he went into his house to check the footage of his Ring security system. You can catch in the footage the light in the corner, which I'll show you in a moment. But what was shocking to him, and to all of us perhaps, is what else ended up showing up in this video clip. That happened to, as he said, fly right up to the light in the sky, or spaceship in the sky. So you check this out and you let me know in comments below what you think. So this is the first glance at it. Watch real slowly. Now you see him walking from his car. You're going to look right over here behind him, slowly, and watch. It almost looks like a piece of paper blowing up. There's the strange light in the sky up there in the right corner. Let's look at this in slow motion, but you could see that he's looking at the light and had no idea that something just blew past him in the shape of a triangle that flew straight up towards that light in the sky. Here goes the same clip again in slow motion. Look at that thing going right behind him, straight up to the right where that light you will see coming in, as if it flew right up to the spaceship. Let me take it back even slower for you. Let us zoom in on that. Take a really good look at that. It does kind of almost look like a piece of paper flying behind him, but it's not. This here is a picture of it close up, as you see. If we actually zoom in even more, zoom out, zoom in, you can actually see a pattern behind it. And close up in better lighting, they're all little squares, one square after another, floating up very, very quickly, as we saw. So I want your comments below. I want to know what you think this could possibly be, and what the strange lights are that drove him to look at this video to begin with. So this next clip that I'm about to show you is pretty amazing, and it was sent to me by one of you amazing folks out there to watch and subscribe. I believe it was originally posted on TikTok, and I believe there could be some validity in this, in the fact that this video could be real, going by the branches of the trees and such. But at the same time, it could also be very, very fake. So therefore, I want your comments down below and your feedback on this particular video. And before I move on to that clip, I wanted to mention Billy Meyer to you all that may not be familiar with him and the decades of work that he's done and visitations that he's got from the Pleiadian aliens. So check him out. He's got the best footage of all of UFOs going back decades ago. Wow. This one's pretty wild. Check it out.
I'm going to ask you this. Imagine looking out your window and seeing this. This happened.
What is that, y'all? We finna die. Oh my God, what do you think? Y'all, what the is that? What the is that? What the
Holy crap. Now check this out.
Oh my God, y'all, what the
Now that right there is the amazing part to me. And then the video is cut out. And you know that it shrinks down. So let's do that in slow motion. Now you see that it's behind the branch of the tree. There's a branch of the tree here, and you can see that it is behind the branch of the tree. But also, what are these? What is that coming off of it? That like smoke or something that seems to be riding off of it. And I'll do it in slow motion. You'll see it. Look, see how it shoots down that smoke that almost looks like birds flying out of the tree. Right? Right there. That's even more so. Like, what is that? Right? Pretty wild. You got to agree that this is like, wow. This one's a wow. And you know, UFOs are known to appear and disappear like that. Like you see it. They do have that invisible kind of technology. And it opens up, and look at how it is a perfect, almost a perfect triangle, which is how some of the ships are seen, but it's also a disc. And actually, there you go. That looks like a perfect little UFO in there. But what is it pulling up? Because it appears to be pulling something up, because you see it pull it right up in. Right up and in. Then it's gone. That effect there, like that. See that little thing hanging out of there? Wild, right, folks? I knew you all would enjoy these. I do want your comments. And again, is that birds flying out of the tree down below? The starlings? Because they do that, the starlings. And they seem to go all the way out here. Or is it just smoke? It is somewhat dusk out, it looks like. But pretty wild. So you may be thinking right now, or wanting to ask me, what does the future hold in the way of UFOs, aliens, and spaceships? Well, the future holds a lot, actually. And I've said in my predictions in January that 2022 would be more reported cases in UFO sightings than ever before marked on the whole entire planet. That also means that it will be triple to quadruple the amount of reportings this year. Not only just UFOs, unidentified flying objects, that are spaceships. Many are government and government related. But the cool thing that's going to happen this year is the amazing footage that gets caught on film. Footage that's never been caught on film before. We have cameras everywhere. And the one that Spirit showed me last night that I thought was kind of exciting is true footage of somebody receiving on video footage of an actual alien. Spirit didn't show me which species of aliens it would be, but that they would start to be showing up on photographs, which I have some photographs myself of the aliens, which I'll have to show you in another video. And if you go back to my Bradshaw Ranch videos that I talked about before, you'll see a whole lot there. I also believe, as I predicted last year, and still wait for it to happen, that a UFO crash landing would actually be seen by too many people to cover up. That one will be exciting as well. We must remember what the Bible says. I will reveal startling signs and wonders in the sky above and the mighty miracles on earth below. Blood and fire and pillars of clouds will appear. You can call this a prediction or whatever you would like. But the fact is that we are entering a new dimension, a new paradigm on the planet and in the solar system. People are becoming more sensitive on an intuitive level, especially those who are tapping into the spirituality, meditating every day, holding love in their hearts, and truly taking care of themselves. In turn, we are becoming sensitive in the aspect of our 2020 vision that began opening up in the year 2020, allowing us to see things that we weren't able to see before, catch things on video that we wouldn't have been able to see before. Not that we didn't catch them on video, but the fact that we couldn't see them. This, along with the aliens wanting us to know, slowly but surely, that they're here, and that they are both good ones and bad ones, so that we can interpret the difference. All of this is happening in 2022 is the year that it is going to heighten on like ever before. So hold on tight, my beautiful friends, because it may not be very long before we are all flying on spaceships through outer space with aliens like this little guy here saying, home. You may laugh, but it's true. And there you have it, my beautiful friends. Tapping in just slightly into that realm of UFOs, aliens, and spacecraft. I highly recommend that you go back and look at the videos I did live from Bradshaw Ranch. Did 3 of them. The last one I did was dissected from footage that you all saw. You saw the footage and I put it out and dissected it, and there are UFOs clearly flying around behind me. Maybe they are today too, as we're talking about that right on the opposite side of this underground military base. But other than that, check them all out. Your comments down below are important to me. Any other links, but the future has yet to come, and the aliens have already come. When will we connect with them? Hang out with me. Be sure to subscribe, and I will take you into this realm again in the future. I truly hope that you enjoyed this journey with me today, my beautiful friends. Don't forget to subscribe down below, click the bell and the all so you get notifications. Give me a like and give me a thanks if you would like to send contributions. Preferably, you can send them through PayPal, and all the links are down below in my description. Remember, celebrate life, celebrate you. Celebrate the amazing you that you are, that you can be and will be in the future. More than anything, celebrate the amazing blessings and miracles of abundance, joy, and happiness that flow into your life each and every moment of every day. The more you do, the more blessings and miracles that will flow into your life. The more you bitch and complain, the more you dislike, the more the universe will give you to dislike and bitch and complain about. Spiritman J.T. signing off. You all have a beautiful day. Namaste.